Today I'm going to bring another Marvel Heroclix preview featuring Incredible Hulk. There have been a number of figures out so far that they've previewed, 7 to be exact, and I'm going to go over all of them right now and to try to keep this going so that the series will progress as the reviews are coming out, so that I don't do them all at one time, and these are out well in advance before the set comes out. So let's get into it. The first figure is Hulk #1 in the set. He is 165 points and he has 0 range. He has Indomitable. He has 3 keywords: Avengers, Brute, and Monster. Brute and Monster are normal for Hulk figures, but I'm really happy, and I'm sure everyone else is really excited. He has the Avengers keyword, so now you can have a Hulk with the Avengers keyword. I believe there is another Hulk with the Avengers keyword, but it's older set, and I don't believe it's probably as good as this guy. He has a trait. Hulk can use super strength throughout his full dial, so that's really good. And he has an attack special power. When a character 75 points or less would deal damage to Hulk with an attack or targets Hulk with Outwit, roll a d6. On the result of a 4 through 6, Hulk ignores damage dealt by the attack, or Hulk ignores that use of Outwit. So that's a really good power. I really like it, but the only thing I don't like it is that it's 75 points or less. Now that is... you know, that's good. I mean, there's a lot of figures below that, but I want to say that there's a lot of figures higher than 75 points. But I guess it's kind of one of those things where, like, if you're not a real overpowering figure, you should be able to use your Outwit. But if you're a low power guy, you can't steal an Outwit from like a 40-point figure or something like that. I actually think a lot of the Batman figures might be lower than 75 points, or at least a couple are. So that's pretty interesting. But Hulk is, you know, he's a monster. So let's get into the review here. He has overall start and dial is pretty low. Even on the first 2 clicks are pretty low. He also has a pretty low end dial. It goes low, middle to like beast mode, and then drops down to, you know, being back down to, you know, lower. He also has the regeneration on the end of the dial, so that's pretty good. I gave this figure an overall score of 4 out of 5 because I figure it's going to be a tough figure to kill, especially if you're able to get on your mid dial with your impervious clicks. And overall, his defense stats are pretty good, and he's got about a roughly average of a 4 damage throughout his whole dial. So that's, you know, that's really nice, but tops out at 5. And you have to remember he has super strength his whole dial as well. 4 clicks of charge, and then, you know, he's got that, you know, in those key clicks, you might not be able to outwit him if he can roll a 4 through 6, or you can't damage him. So that's, and some of those smaller figures will have to try to outwit his defense to even do damage. So that could be really, really nasty. You have to roll to outwit his defense, and then they have to roll to even, you know, I'm not sure if you can do it twice, but basically you get the idea. So I give this guy a 4 out of 5. He's also going to be an alter ego, so on Bruce Banner, once you get on him, you can transfer over to him and play him for 55 points, but you have to have Bruce Banner and then transform Bruce Banner into the Hulk, and you start somewhere on the end of this dial. I'm not really sure. I think it's the 7th click with the 8, 10, and 17 invulnerability. It might be the 8, 11, 18, but I doubt it. But even if you get that and you regen, you can only go back up to your full click on the start in line when you transfer over. Here we have Bruce Banner. He has 55 points in the set. He has a range of 4, 2 keywords: Hulk, Buster, and Scientist. I find that really interesting. He has the Hulk Buster keyword. You know, it's pretty cool, but I don't know if there's any other characters with the Hulkbuster keyword other than maybe Iron Man the Hulkbuster, but I don't even know if he even has that keyword. But anyways, he has 2 special powers: the Alter Ego Hulk, give Bruce Banner power action that deals no pushing damage, and replace the figure #1 Hulk, 43 Hulk, and 27 Hulk on their orange starting lines. Existing action tokens on this character and action tokens for this are applied to the replacement figure. This power cannot be countered. So as you can see, there's going to be multiple Hulks you can transfer into. So that's really awesome. I like that. This figure now, I'm not so sure if I'm sold on this one, but his attack power is Bruce Banner can use Energy Explosion. Bruce Banner and adjacent friendly characters deal 1 additional damage to targets of their attacks using Energy Explosion, if not already modified by this effect. So, I mean, overall, you get the bonus on Energy Explosion. Not every figure has Energy Explosion. So this is going to be something that in sealed, it's not going to probably be a factor, especially in a Hulk set. I mean, I don't know every figure so far, but in constructed, you might be able to get some use out of them if you're going to use a figure using Energy Explosion, because you get more damage and you get 1 click of Outwit. But in sealed, and for most people, this is not going to be a figure you're probably going to play. I'm giving him a 2 out of 5. The only thing that really benefits him is if you do transform into one of the Hulks, the clicks that the Hulks get are pretty good actually, but it's just there's nothing past that first click, and then you could easily get KO'd really quick unless you know exactly what you're doing. So not that sold on this figure. Glad they put him in there just because of the, that have a Bruce Banner figure and to change into Hulk. Yeah, you have to have that for alter egos, but the figure itself leaves a lot to be desired, but he's not really going to do much unless he's Hulk anyways. So here we have the Hulk robot, 150 points, 3 range. He has a team ability, Power Cosmic, so he can push without taking damage, and you cannot outwit him. He has a couple keywords, Assembly of Evil, Brute, Cosmic, Intergalactica, and Robot. This is an interesting dial. If he did not have Power Cosmic, I would be like not that great of a figure because the defense is pretty low, 17s, 2 17s, 3 16s, and 4 15s. Damage output is relatively low for 150 points. On your click 3 and 4, you do have Exploit Weakness, and 5 through 9, you have Close Combat Expert. But your defense is so low and your attack is so low that, I mean, you might not really do much. And even with the Close Combat Expert, you're only doing 4. Overall, the attacks on this guy are relatively bland, 10s and 9s. He doesn't even start off with an open and click of Charge, which would really help him. He's going to have to move in with Leap Climb and then push using Power Cosmic, so we won't take any damage, and use that object on you. But, he doesn't get into the fight really quick doing attacks. He can get in there really quick with Leap Climb, which is really good, and you can bounce out, and that is a benefit that, you'll want. But there's just a lot to be said if you can come in there attacking immediately. And that's why I have to give him a 3 out of 5. He does have a little bit of range, so that's, a lot of Hulk's figures do not have any range. So 3 range is pretty good, even though you've always been able to throw objects with super strength. But this guy can, if they're based up, he can pull out of it a little bit and, do a couple shots. And the 10 attack isn't bad, but 17 in vulnerability. It's a good brick figure because you can't outwit his defenses, but he's going to get hit, and going to get hit probably hard. And then once he does, he's not going to have much to stand on. Couple clicks of steal energy, but just random placement, I think. So here we have She-Hulk, 105 points, 0 range, no team ability. Keywords are pretty good here. Avengers, Fantastic Four, Heroes for Hire, Lady Liberators, and S.H.I.E.L.D. So all those are good keywords. We all like to see that. She has a pretty nice special power. When She-Hulk makes an attack, after the actions resolve, you may destroy 1 square of blocking terrain or 1 wall that is adjacent to the targeted character. So you got some options there, but it's not like anything bonus other than like taking out a wall. Situational, I think. This is more situational than actually something that you're like, oh, this is a special power that I'm going to use. You might be able to, but you never know where your opponent is going to place their characters. I think it's more situational. But for the points that she is and the powers that she has, She's well worth playing for sure. I have her at a 4 out of 5, and mainly is because she only has 7 clicks. And she doesn't have Indomitable, so if you push, she will take a click. But if you look at her, she has Charge, Super Strength, Invulnerability, 4 damage. You go in there, hit him with an object, you're going to push. Guess what? Now you have Impervious, same stats. Yeah, you lose 4 damage to 3, but now you have Outwit. So what you can do there is, on your first click, charge in there, push. Now you're on your second click, and now you got 2 tokens. But guess what? You're still in the game because you have Outwit. So if they have any kind of thing that might turn, you around, like you can push, and now you have Outwit, and you use your Outwit, and then you're good. 17, that's good. I mean, you have Impervious. You can be outwitted, but that's also why you have Outwit. So if they have Outwit, push, oh, guess what? Now I have Outwit too. You're gone. I did it before you. And then if you get hit again, you got an 18. It's only toughness, but you're probably going to get hit more than just 1 click. So you probably get on your 17. You have Outwit again with Flurry, or the 16 Impervious. And then the reason why I really want to stick with her given a 4 is because she can regeneration back up to her 18th defense. So, she has a lot of potential. Short dial, but you're going to end up probably on a click that you're going to be able to do something. So I like her a bit. And she has good keywords too. So here we have Abomination, 132 points, no team ability, no range, 3 keywords, Brute, Monster, and Spy. And he does have Indomitable, so that's good. He can push without taking damage. And he is a Dolphin. I know a lot of people aren't really high on this guy, but I think he's pretty good, actually, because he's got he's got 7 clicks of charge. Now, that's really good. And then his stats are 3 10s attacks, and the rest 4 9s and 2 8s. The 2 8s are going to be blah, but you got 2 clicks of regeneration, full dial of Battle Fury, give or take what you think about that. But he is a brick figure, and he can regenerate back up. To stay alive a little bit. And on the Hulk figure, if you saw that, he doesn't even start off with charge. So, you got to look at that. He has like a charge, but it's like a 9 attack, 16 defense. Abomination should be able to get the first hit on Hulk. At least the common Hulk. I like that. I think he's a little bit tougher than the Robot Hulk too. Robot Hulk, that's the one I was talking about that doesn't have charge. He has Leap Climb. So you have to look at that. I mean, you can go right up to him, get out of the range, so go up to about 4 squares away, which next turn you would be able to push on him. So the Hulk robot either has to just move into you, or I don't know what's he going to do. If he doesn't have an object, he can't throw anything on you. So you have options there. He's going to move up to you. Guess what? Now you're in close combat. You get the first attack. Yes, he has shape change, but I mean, what are you going to do? That's what he has. I like the Abomination. I'm going to give him a 3.5 out of 5. It's way better than the Avengers version, but it still isn't like the greatest figure ever. I like his start in defense of 18. I think the 2/4 damages on the first 1 and 2 are pretty good. Throughout his dial, up into the 6th click, he can do 3 damage. Then 7th, 8th, and the 9th one, he's kind of going to be low. 7th, you only have 2 damage. On your 8th and 9th, you do have 3 on your 8th, but you're going to probably want to regen up. So you're not even going to really attack unless you're going to kill the guy. So yeah, better figure than the Avengers. I like the sculpt. But could be better, but I still think it's actually not that bad of a figure. You're going to be surprised if you play him. So then we have Skaar, 104 points, no team ability, 2 range. Range is, even 2 is better than none. Brute, Savage Land, and Warrior. He has 2 traits, Parental Duo. Whenever his parents, Hulk and I can't pronounce his mother, I don't even know what that is, Kara or whatever, adjacent to Skaar, they all modify their attack values by 1, if not already modified by an effect. That's really good if you play with the other 2 figures or one of those figures. That's a really good power. But you might not get it if you don't play with him. So that's something you don't know. It's not like every game you know you're going to have that unless it's constructed that way. You could probably pull it in sealed, but it's going to be expensive, I'm sure. And then another trait is when Skaar is adjacent to a blocking terrain, if he possesses invulnerability, he can use impervious instead. And same as if he has toughness, he can use invulnerability. So now if you're adjacent to a square of blocking terrain, this is going to help you quite a bit, and I like that power a lot. But it's also going to be semi-situational. You do have the ability to place him near blocking terrain, but depending on the maps, you might not have a lot of options. But it's something that you have, you have control here. I like the figure. I'm glad they made him. Some of his stats are, leaves a lot to be desired. 4 clicks of 9 attacks, 2 clicks of 10, and your final 11 attack. Your defense, not that good. Your damage output, I will say though, he does have 2 clicks of 2 damage, but they are exploit weakness, so that kind of negates the 2 damage. He does start off with charge. I'm going to give this figure a 3 out of 5, but if you play him to be able to get one of those special powers, I give him another half, so 3.5. If you get both of those special powers, I give him a 4 because then he's going to start getting in there. So if you can place him in your games to get that impervious, then I say a 3.5. But if you play him with Hulk, man, he's a 4 because those stats go up, and I like that starting off with 11 attack, even though you do have a 16 defense. I like the figure. It's 104 points. He has potential to do some nasty things. So here we have Hulk, number 43 in the set. This is going to be a super rare. 193 points, kind of expensive. He does have 3 range. He has Indomitable, so he can push. He is Brute, Ruler, and Warrior. So relatively normal keywords for a Hulk. I like the Ruler because you can play him with Darkseid. Yep. Anyway, so special powers. Limitless Rage. When Hulk can use Toughness, ignores all damage dealt to him unless he's dealt damage by an attack that the attack is rolled doubles, but not a critical miss. Friendly characters cannot use probability during this attack that targets Hulk. This power cannot be countered or ignored. If you look at it, it's a 0 defense. So basically, any attack roll hits, just not critical miss. Any attack roll that's doubles. So if you roll 2 2s, you rolled a 4. So, that would still hit but you could also roll a 5 and a 6 and have a 13 attack. That misses because you did not roll doubles. I like this power because the chances are you're probably not going to get hit on the first attack roll. And you might actually not get hit for a while. And you have a 10 attack. But there is no place on this dial that says you have to stop on that click. So if you get close to your 10th click, you're going to probably want to push, take away your Indomitable, and get on your sweet spot. And just hope that they don't roll doubles, because they can outwit it. And you do have a damage special power. Before Hulk makes a close combat attack, you may choose to modify his attack and damage by -1. If you do, Hulk's target cannot use damage defense powers. So that's on your 2nd through 5 clicks, right after your sweet spot, but you're still on your pretty good 10s attacks, invulnerabilities, impervious. Now, I have to say though, when you do that, you'll be doing 2 damage, and you'll be attacking with 9s. So it's kind of one of those things. I don't know. I think you can perplex up though. I think you can, but I could be wrong. If you're able to perplex up, but he doesn't have perplex himself, so I don't know. Start off with running shot, 11 attack, impervious, 4 damage. I like that, but 3 range is kind of low, but there's some things you can do with that. But I would have liked charge to really get the use of that super strength early in the dial. But he has Indomitable. I like this figure. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 5 because if you play him right, it could be really deadly with a lot of the power that he has, especially if you can get on this last click. He's also going to be one of the figures that Bruce Banner turn into, and Bruce Banner turns into him on his last click. So that's a good way to get that. So that is one thing I do like about Bruce Banner, is it, and if you pull this guy, you can Bruce Banner into the Hulk on the last click. Then you're looking good. That's where this figure gets a 4 out of 5 for me. But you know, it's very interesting. Like the figure. House of M's pretty cool. Decent stats all around though. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and stay tuned. I will be trying to keep up to date with the upcoming releases of previews for Incredible Hulk or even the Lord of the Rings, because I'm excited about that. They did do a Gandalf the Grey review recently, but I only have one figure for them, so I'm not going to do a review yet for them, but I will in the future.